yamadoda nabesifazane ngiyakusondeza sabatha induku yakho yobukhosi ungamukele endaweni yakho wena mqaphi wezindawo ezifihlekile mqaphi wesango lezwe lasentshona ngivumele ngingene ezweni labathulile ngifunde ukukhuluma ngaphandle kwamazwi uma kusa ngizoba ngomunye wabalandeli bakho ngizoba ngomunye walaba abalandela emuva kwakho ngime ngiqaphe nawe ngizoba umncedisi wakho vuleka mnyango wasentshona ngingene nduku yobukhosi Anpu ngihole kulesango Molebeledi Molebeledi Mqaphikazi Mqaphikazi Anpu bayede kuwe Anpu wena unobuso bempungushe mqaphi wezwe lokhokho ungumholi walaba abakulandelayo ngibonise indlela engingahamba ngayo ngokuthula ngoba ngiqotho bayede kuwe upward mvuli wezindlela udumo kuwe Heri Seshat wena usemfihlakaleni ngiyakudumisa Kenti Amen you wena nkosana yezwe lasentshona bayede kuwe Neptajosa uyinkosi yendawo engcwele siyavusela kuwe imuted wena uhlala egunjini lokumbeza umzimba womufi Molebeledi Mqaphikazi Anpu
Leading the announcements. So joining us here at 897 Fiela Street, Orlando East every Sunday at 11 o'clock to do Umpahlo at 12 o'clock, but we don't only gather here for that. We also gather here to listen to the lectures of Mkhulu and to unlearn. So we've been currently in the season of Anpu, and today is the last Sunday of Anpu. So Anpu. Anpu. Mqaphikazi. Molebeledi. So Anpu, one of his prominent roles was as a god who ushered souls He attended the weighing scale during the weighing of the heart, in which it was determined whether a soul would be allowed to enter the realm of the dead. So to find and follow us on our social media platforms, you go to Instagram at GEK_movement, and then Twitter at GEK_movement or GEK Bonabakhulu. Then on Facebook it's GEK movement Bonabakhulu Basekemu. Then on YouTube is Great Empire of Kemet or Kemet Bonabakhulu. We are now available on Spotify and Apple Podcast at Great Empire of Kemet Bonabakhulu. So the Spotify and Apple Podcast is for when you don't want to watch the live YouTube videos, you just go to Spotify or the Apple Podcast. So then at our market today, we have the Booksman, the Search, Find, Deliver, any kind of books you need or want. This is one of the books by Mkhulu Nsingiza, Indaba My Children. Please get yourself one if you do need one by the Booksman. Then this one is The African Origin of Civilization by Sheikh Anta Diop, funded by the Booksman. And then we also have the Truth Seekers selling arms, rings, necklaces, and bags. Get yourself one to align with your season. Then we also have the Mkhulu herbal products. Unfortunately, I don't have the products right now. So the Mkhulu herbal products, the safe made rubbing stuff, 250 milliliters for 150 rands, 125 milliliters for 100 rands, and 30 milliliters for 30 rands. Then the cancer bush, also known as the Rumola Madi, 50 grams for 100 rands and 25 grams for 50 rands. This is the frame structure, one of the products, the Mkhulu herbal products. This is the frame structure only for 100 rands. And then on Wednesdays, we give platform to black-owned businesses to advertise their businesses. For that, send info@gekmovement.org. We also have the Kemet chat used for communication with the royals. To find the Kemet chat, you go to the website at www.gekmovement.org. This is the African Royal Calendar, the book Mkhulu reads from when he does Umpahlo. Please do get yourself a copy for only 150 rands. So while on the African Royal Calendar, the dates are very different. They don't start from the 1st to the 31st, but from the 23rd to the 23rd. Then they go by seasons, not months. And fortunately, we don't have the English version of the African Royal Calendar. And then while on that, we are asking for please contribute to translate the African Royal Calendar to any language you feel comfortable in, maybe Tswana, Venda, Tonga, or any other language. So, and then, Anpu, Mqaphikazi, Molebeledi. Please do get yourself one, to align with your season. If Utatoka Anpu, this is the guy you should get. But we don't only keep Anpu, we also have Neptet, Mqaphikazi, all the other seasons. Get yourself one. Nakalina Ginanewa representing the kingdom of Oset, 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 handing it over to Cecilia to tell us more about the ending of Anpu. I didn't forget anything, did I? Please do join the Twitter spaces to know more about the African Royal Calendar.
On Wednesdays.
Oh, on Wednesdays. Wednesdays night. So Gozali.
Representing the kingdom of Oset, Oset. Thank you very much. Today's topic is ending Anpu. I wanted to know how is it for everyone here. What I wanted to say is that we've come to an end. This is the best time to energize the spiritual artifacts, such as the Ankh and the statues and other spiritual artifacts. I have that for now, but thank you because Mkhulu Nsingiza will, just carry it on or just finish it. Thank you so much.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. All right, let's just be excited and can you give us another song? Come on, we are still on the Anpu. Oh, Silo is singing. Let's give it to Silo.
I wanted to know, please raise your hands for those that are born in Anpu. Two people only. Three. Four. Five.
If you birth an Anpu,
All right.
if you birth an Anpu,
All right, let's give the Anpu a round of applause. Let's bring our attention to who we are. And let's remind ourselves, why are we here? Ndithi xa ndithetha ke, ndithi emantandeni bangandiqumbela. Xa ngenawukwazi uba ndibulise, ndithi ndiyabulisa kwesophiko ngelo mthilo mna ke ndizalwa ngujola inkomo majola tholelo mthokazi. And it's very amazing ukuthi my birth mother in the spirit is actually Osset. Now we just been welcomed by two Ossets. We need to understand the importance of that. The spirit of Osset here, the season and the principle. Because we are gathered here to truly understand the science of what is our creation, how were we created. And in that study, we need to understand now, how do we invoke those energies and those frequencies, because they are within our physical bodies. Now we get so blessed by now that energy, that frequency, is what brings balance to Umvelingangi. In everything that has been created, there's always what? The yin and the yang, the female energy and the male energy. For us to come and have this power to come as Godwin and be able to look at one another, it was two frequencies that they come together. So it's always important that Mkhulu get represented on Umvelingangi. Now let's all now understand, how does this African calendar work? Why is it so important that we get to be educated with what is African calendar, which is the royal calendar? Where did this all start? Because by understanding that, we'll understand how important our contribution it is by coming to a school going. And in Mokupahla, 4 times a day, in the morning, I did it before sunrise. At sunrise was 6, it's their path, and it's then it's pinned this path and 12. It's pinned again was 6, it's pinned midnight was 12. So it's 4 times a day. Why is that so important? And why do we come here and say, Anpu, Mvelingangi, Mkhulu? Why do we do that? Now, in the studies that Mkhulu Nsingiza teaches us, it teaches us the science, the spirit, that what made us in the physicality. And how he starts that, he starts this by understanding his civilization. Where did all this start? So we start this by understanding the stone calendar, which is the oldest, which is at Mpumalanga, Enzalo Yelanga. Now, all Kokobet used to go and gather there. That is where Uvusamazulu was initiated as the Sangoma. Because what happens there, it is the energies of Koko. If you go there, you will see that there are stones that are aligned, which are Koko. They used to study what is the movement of the sun. What is the, sorry, I beg your pardon. What is the movement of the earth around the sun? Now, when you go there, that is why it's time to we go there on the 23rd. Master City, now we're welcoming the first season or the first month of the African calendar. We go to Inzalo Yelang. Now, because now the sun is returning. So all Kokogate, the studies of, that's why we are the oldest in Zalabantu. Civilization, which is science, proves when you go to Enzalo Yelanga. Your shadow, if it's 12 noon, it is all, and then it starts that movement. Whether it's in a stone and all of that. So all Koko did not just study their physical shadows, but they study the shadows of the stones that are there. It's a beautiful energy. That is why kuthiwa yinzalo yelanga. Now that is the first. That's why masiphatha ke sithi asa, because that is the principle of renewal. What is being renewed? What is being greened? It is you, your soul. That is why masiphatha we go to that. And then now what happens now? Now let's bring, I like to bring an example. That means when you are renewing the soul, what do? You are planting a seed, isn't it? Now that's when we experience the first rain. The first rain, they come in September. That is when we plow. And we witness that when we understand now agriculture. The powers of you just take a seed and you plant it into the soil. The nutrients that are in the soil, they're the ones then they come. But now that season only takes 30 days. The 23rd of September to 23rd of October. Do you follow this? Because this is very important. What is happening, this movement of the soul, when it comes back now, it means we are on our planet Earth with the sun. The sun now is coming to the southern hemisphere. Whatever you are planting now, it starts where? You start by imagining, by feeling, by having a vision. What am I planting in September? Because now the sun has departed, is on the northern hemisphere. Now Anpu is the 8th month. It means this journey we have started it. It's in the 8th month of the African calendar. Now we left with 4, and then it's supposed to city Asa again. And then we start that. Now the importance of this season, that is why now it's a meditator. Because now meditator, you are assisting umoya wako. Because remember, planet Earth has been far apart from the sun. Now what do you feel? That's why we get so emotional. That's why we always want to be cozy and cold and all of that. Because in the spirit, you are feeling that something has been away from you, from your being. No? So when you visualize the African calendar, now we said you plant a seed. Visualize this. What are the goals you want to plant in your personal life? What are the things that you are preparing umoya wako? When it comes the 23rd, now to see there, what are you going to plant? Is it a business model that you have? Because in everything that you must master in the physicality, it starts emoyeni, isn't it? Umoya, that's why it's uvuselela. Can you hear me? Here I am. But the problem is now our thoughts are forever being in all of this. Oh, I've got these problems, I've got that. I'm in pain. Now you must learn now. This is another importance. When you understand, it's very important when you come to school to understand what is your principle. So now we know 23rd of September to 23rd of October, you are Asa. That means you are a principle of, what did I say? Renewal. That means that is your purpose. That is why Amadlozi agreed upon your birth, your physical birth, to come and renew us. Yes. Now you have to master so that you come and teach us. How do you do that? I'm getting hot now. I'm getting hot. Let's take this opportunity. Mkhulu is still busy. Now you have to understand that is your purpose. That is your goal. They all gathered and said, you raised your hand. What you man? You were very much aware the difficulties that you're going to face on planet Earth. You saw it as above, so below. The darkness that we are in, you saw it and you raised your hand. And yes, Wakuma, and yes, in September you came. The frequency now, that all that, the 9 months, the Kemetic principles, which everything takes 9 months. So remember that 9 months, where were you? You're still in the spirit. So that is why I'm saying you knew that you were coming here. That is why your return, when you now depart from your body, you're going back there now to sign. That is when Anpu, this principle, this is not a physical human being. All Koko used to use symbolic language. They used to put symbols in everything. So the first energy, the first principle, that is going to weigh your spiritual heart. Remember the physical heart, we bury it. But there is your aura. There is all of that. You want to meet Anpu. That is Anpu now is going to weigh you and see what are you returning back to planet Earth and come and rewrite your exams, because clearly you failed. And if you passed, and then you go to a higher frequency and be idlozi. Spirituality is about mastering first your physical subject. Why are you here? Now, Mkhulu Nsingiza, that is what Nozinzi Mandela and Umamuwini did to understand why there's so much separation in us. We got our liberation. We thought we got, let me rephrase, we thought we got our liberation, our freedom in 1994. But now it showed with Norman that it's still separated. We're still not uniting. That is when now they went deep into this research. What is making us so separate? They realized that religion, there's so many religions that are there, but they are the things that even causes us to be apart from one another. Politics, there's so many political parties that are out there, but they are not uniting. All they do now is all about this power of looting, who wants to govern and loot. But now, Mkhulu Nsingiza, this is where he corrects us and says, if I understand the umoya, the governing powers that allow us to speak, if you don't understand the spirit, if you don't understand science, how we were created, how do you lead us then? That is where now it's lead us through inyama. If you don't teach our children how important it is that our skin color is black, our hair is so curly, the way we speak, the way we're so curvaceous, if we don't understand and take pride in that, that is why we're going to see our children so much focus in the physicality on how they look, on how they sound. Is to realign us and make us understand. Now, even if you're starting your own business, if you don't understand the African calendar, if you don't understand the energies that governs you, for you to be able to be the leader in your business, then that's why we always start businesses and they fail. Because as understanding umoya. If asiphathi ngesikhathi esinye as a family, what does that divide us? So that is why Maulapa uphatha uqala even about your family and make sure there's unity in that. And then you go. Now, what is important, as I said, would now come Heteru, which is the second one. I will stop when Mkhulu gets here. I don't want to take much of his time. So when you get to the second now, which is Heteru, second month. Now, when you get to Heteru, you are fertilizing. Now, that's where fertilization comes in. When you come here and you understand now when you do meditation, that's where the womb is. That is what we call the goddess of love, the goddess of everything that is about creativity, about creative spaces. They are born. Naturally, you are creative. Now, before you get into all that. And then you get, so when you are Heteru, you must understand your principle is to fertilize. We are so dry. We need you Heterus to fertilize. That's why you take Now I'm going to move into speed. My mentor is here. And then I'm moving now to Jehuti. Jehuti now, after you're born, that is the third month. If you're born in Jehuti, you are here for what? Resonance, man. That is your purpose. That is why Okoko agreed for you to be here. Master that. We've got skills. We cannot master in all of them, but we can always be an overseer of whatever is happening. Then you move to Nepted. Our Nepted, yeah, they are the one that gives the secretion. For me to speak now, there has to be substance and secretion, isn't it? So that is their role. They need. You know, that is your role. That is your purpose. Before you make a decision that you want to be an architect, that you want to be a writer, understand what is it the spirit agreed upon by understanding the African calendar. Now let's move fast now. Lightning as Mkhulu. Now you get to see Heru. Heru now is the principle of ascension. Now, this is another thing that you need to understand. Sorry, Mkhulu, I'll be quick. I promise you. Now, this is when you get now we're on page 64, which we are finishing, which is Anpu. There is izinto ezikuxhumanisa no Anpu. Koko, what they used to study. Now let's talk about the current one, which again we say bye to, which is Anpu. Its spirit or the animal that is associated with this, it is the jackal, the wolf, a dog, a beetle, nkumabulongwe. Now this is very powerful. If you are a Heru, I love this one. This is where I brag now about my spirit. This is where I brag about my system. Now listen carefully now. This is where I bring it on. If you are born between the 23rd of January, this is us now, the Herus. Watch out. If you are born between the 23rd of January and the 23rd of February, now you study the life of a phoenix. Here's the phoenix. You see the phoenix. Check it all out. We call it the king of the sky. What we master. It is ascension. What we master is ascension. Now, what we understand as Herus, even if we see now there's this storm, this lightning, when we see our problems, what we master is to go above. Because we understand by understanding zero hero or purpose, that is why we come and stand as Godwin. And we teach you how to ascend. We don't just talk as we are doing. That is hero, let me take it like that. Let me not lose it. Let me just get to Gab, the next one. Gab, okay, that's where creation is. When I'm saying it ascends, whatever now you have planted, it ascends now, isn't it? Oh, yes. That's when you master get. Even if you have planted a maize or whatever in agriculture, that's when now you can see. But now the next season, that is creation. And that creation is based on vegetation. Now, can you see your business plan here? Can you see your purpose here? So if you are Gab, 23rd of February to 23rd of March, your purpose, it is here for creativity, creation, vegetation. Those are the people that are very dramatic also. And you must understand. Very dramatic. Remember, it's that season of oh, look what I have. But now this is very important. Gab now is the 6th month that we had the sun focused fully on the southern hemisphere. So this is the sun. That's very important to understand this, because that's why we're so outward. We work so hard, we do this, because all the energy is on us. So in your business, that is where you do physical work, because you are being recharged 24/7. Now when you get to Osset, the little Osset that we're here, now the sun is departing. That is why it's all Kokobet were storytellers. So they used to see this relationship between Asa and Unomkubulwane. Now Umvelingane is departing. So that manje Unomkubulwane uyalila. Because obviously when your lover is going away, you get all the emotions. That's why we're such emotional beings. We have to love that, because that's how we express the spirit that governs us. It's not because we want your attention. It is just the way we are. Please, and don't try to change us. We are like that. Now the last 6 months, which is very important, the sun now is departing, isn't it? That's why now Mkhulu at this cut manje sokuthi ofuna ungene ephehlweni, ofuna ukwenza umsebenzi womoya. If I can generalize like that, this cut is salokho, because now this is the time you don't do much work on the physicality. So all set again like it's fruition. That realization with hey, ngivunile on Gab, and now the sun is departing. That's realization, sitting right in between your eyebrows. This is the one also sitting there on this chakra. So it's very important to understand that. So our aseti purpose is fruition, is to make sure that we realize the power that is in all of us. Is this making sense? Because remember, difficulty is to understand, why am I here? We've asked this question over and over. Why was I born? What am I doing here? And this is where we find so much loneliness, so much aloneness, because we don't understand. Mkhulu Nsingiza, that is why we love him so much. Simplified this. And he did this not in, you know, when you understand, when you follow your passion, and you must understand, on a tray, you can understand the difficulty Mkhulu went through. Because now he was coming from the background that we all came in, that doubt that you must praise someone that you have not even met in your life. Mkhulu understood, and Mkhulu was coming from a political background and all of that. But he had to study. They study who? Himself. Because you cannot teach something that you have not experienced. He has to go through all the pain, all the doubt, all the difficulties to truly understand what is the foundation of that. Because one thing that we are so scared of is to let go of what we know. We truly difficult of that. So now, then we get to Anpu. Anpu it's transmutation. Transmute or digest. That is what it is. So when you are in Anpu, that is your purpose of being on the physical life. Transmutation. That's just what it is. And you are that those local. When we depart from the physicality, we meet you. But now as an Anpu, study. I showed you what Oheru does. Study you and you come and teach us. Anpus, if you are born between, this is what we do. This is what we unpack. Because all of us, we need each other. And then after Anpu, the season next week.
Tomorrow.
Oh! That one! That's what I need to powder my nose. Now, I need to powder my nose. We're gonna get to Kemet. Kemet, yeah. It is. I'll start with Thokozan. Kemet, they're here to purify.
Yep.
Their role is to purify. So, Thokozan, he sings. He purifies us. He cleanses us. That is why Nsingiza and he does it so well. Sitting down and grabbing all our attention. And by the way, he demands. But that's what when you understand your purpose. You understand that, look at me, I am Kemet. I am purifying you by the singing. And we all know, okay, yours truly is going to be coming and standing here and teaching us. That is talk about alignment. Now, if you are born in Kemet, which is the 23rd of May to 23rd of June, talk to the Kemet. If I'm not mentioning you, but you hear you, Kemet, please excuse me. But you come now, you negotiate, and you talk. What programs can we do as Kemet to teach our Abamnyama about this, to cleanse? Remember, when you are here, you are in the spirit, you are not in the physicality. Umoya wethu singawuklenza kanjani so that our ancestors can have a full access to our bodies. How do we cleanse imisamo yethu? This is your msamo, your third eye, your pineal. We'll get to that when we do meditation. So that is our Kemet. They do that. So that is why again we go to where? CIA Phoenix. I think Mkhulu said a bluff on the 21st of June. Because the energy there, iyaku cleanser. That is why we go there. Naturally. But apparently even now I'm a bull, so I tell the land now, I don't know. I think there's people that live there. Kemet. That's why Kemet. Because you must remember, all these chakras that are in your body, we have in the very same map in our country. They are chakras. So that's why we visit 4 times, a year. We go to this area and go to that. Because in there, that is the chakra yesizwe. So we go there, siyo revive our own individual chakras by being there, siyo gida. But now white people, you know how they are, they always rush because they know that is our root chakra. That is where when you follow the Zep Tepi, that's where all this journey, because even in you've got the yin, you've got the yang. Even you go to the map of Africa, you've got the left-hand side, which is the female, and you've got to the right-hand side. Where they meet, that's what they call the Zep Tepi. You know, so and they call it the golden meridian. It all goes from Phoenix up into the Giza. That is the work of Kokobet did without the cell phones, without the computers, without the books, by just studying nature. If I have this chakra here, this communication, it shows that even the land where I walk, there is a chakra. You see now? So that is why it's important. So when you Kemet, after Kemet, there's no Bidlizi. Hey! Also, Kemet's energy there, it is a female energy. So you must always understand that if I'm a female, but my Heru energy is male energy. So I need to bring balance of that so that I understand what there is. I embody a female energy, but my spiritual energy is what? Is male. Always be conscious of that. That in everything for you to create, there must be balance of these two energies. I mean, because is that principle of fixation. That's the principle of chaos. I mean, still Kemet, effect of Kemet. So, that principle, that test you now. Very powerful. But what have you been planting? What have you been, you know, what is your power? You've been saying that you are planting in September. That is why you see even the wind and all of that in the environment, because we said together, we are buildings. But to build is we said just to test your power within you. So embrace that. So those are the ones. And then after set again, we will have the Ma'at. So when we get to set, then we go to Ma'at. Ma'at again is to restore all the chaos that was caused by Uset. So when you are born as Ma'at, your principle is order. You bring in order in everything, whether it's in mathematics, whether it's in geometry, whether it's whether it's in the structures we see, everything has to do order. Your purpose in your business, whether you start your business, whether you're at work or employed, is to bring order. That is your purpose. So study Umoya Wako, study the African calendar, and make sure you become the ambassador of what Mkhulu Nsingiza has written. Because even if Mqaphikazi 1 and 17, there will be order. There will be cleansing, there will be all of that. So that is what Uma Art is all about. Uma Art, we'll do this later. The Uma Art and here, if I can make an example, if you look at this is your African calendar. So always start with what is opposite your energy. I am male energy, but my opposite is my art. So my art is my female energy. So meaning in me there is order, because you are birthed in duality. Female, male, male, female. So always understand that what is your opposite, because that is your strength, that is your other side. So my other side, if you're a hair, it is my art. Okay? And then you move from my art again. Then you get to Nut. Yes. So say augment. So if you are a nut, go to Mkhulu Nsingiza. Say to Mkhulu, what is this augmentation? If you say Mkhulu, what he teaches us is from the sacred magic. It's a textbook that we use here. So the thumb sucking, the studies that we've done. Mkhulu, what is to augment? I need to understand that. Go to Mkhulu. Find out on the Kemet chat, on Nut, what is to augment, and build all your businesses, all your day-to-day businesses on that, and mostly teach us about who you are. And then now I've reached the end. Now let's give all a round of applause to Mkhulu Nsingiza. So we are ending the season of Anpu. So I believe what has been this season for you. And more careful, say more and understand that what is it that you're not understanding about your spirit? That is what is important. What is your principle? And make sure that is aligned. And that's what we're here to study. Umoya wam unjani when it comes to Anpu. Umoya wam unjani when it gets to sacrament. So I'm going to give them this opportunity to Mkhulu Nsingiza. Thank you so much for listening. Let's not forget, after Mkhulu, there's someone who's going to send like a poem. Why don't you do the poem now?
Oh,
Do the poem now. So if you are creative, this platform is for that. If you want to sing, all of it's welcome. Go. Let's give them work.
Simple story hanya ni pela porka freita khane kile ko credo motho village. So tsene di buiwa mo kile ka utlwisisa haholo nyana ka sona le ka khatlega ka fila gore ke tle gaufinyana le nna ke tlo ba teng le ba bang ba teng ka nako e tshwanang le. Alright. Awesome. Jwale he ekinang le yona ke bitsa Asira station ya se poem ya se next a ke motho wa di poem ya ke mrepa a ke next. So he we puela fela nje ba bitsa ancestral libation ya ke kopile le nna hona mo kai fata all afela it's a maya ka mokgwa ke our ancestors of antiquity who have developed great knowledge and gave civilization to the world. Your will to be lives in me, I say. To all our ancestors who were fortunate to be buried on the soil of Al-Kebu and Africa, our mother land, your will to be lives in me. To all our ancestors who were lost and killed during the voyage of the Middle Passage, your will to be lives in me. To all our ancestors who suffered the cruelty of the horrible institutions of colonization, oppression, racism, segregation, and slavery in North America, South America, all the islands, the Middle East, and throughout the world. Your will to be lives in me. To all our ancestors, we thank you, great ancestors, for the precious gift of your blood, your sweat, and your pain, who fought gallantly for, still there, fought gallantly for equality, freedom, justice, and peace. Your will to be lives in me. To all our ancestors in your honor, I promise, as a descendant and a benefactor of your life, to uphold the truth without fear and to never forget you and your sacrifices as I teach myself and our children to respect and honor you as to our ancestors in your honor. I promise to assume the responsibility in continuing on the path of progress and build upon the foundation you have laid before us. To our ancestors in your honor, I promise to remove the fear, the ignorance, the shame, and the self-hatred of my African history, and to reclaim the cultural heritage and the consciousness of the spiritual oneness. To our ancestors in your honor, I promise to continue to build a new world for and with our children, based on the tradition and the cultural principles and values. We praise and honor you, great ancestors, and may your spirit be filled with the light of Ramoloki Tatamacho. And may the spirit guide us, or may the light guide us through the fear and the ignorance of our times. Moment of silence. Adepu, Ariku, Babawa. Thank you by the spirit of the ancestors. Ase.
By the spirit of our ancestors, let's give him a round of applause. Gratitude, Wande Mqaphikazi, and thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you for Mkhulu. This is your table.
Kemet, he's so excited because he sees the near excited. So he understand that. Namhlanje sime sizobonga. We are here to give gratitude to Anpu. 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 Molebeledi. 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 Mqaphikazi. Mqaphikazi. Sizobonga konke okwenzakele kule season. Whether okuhle noma okubi. Remember ukuthi uAnpu isango leli thina in the science sibiza carbon or melanin. Meaning ukuthi sibonga le season ukuthi our melanin has been revived. Yenzakala once a year. Only once ngesikhathi ska Anpu. That is why we are able ukuthi sixhumane nomoya. We connect spiritually. You know, without any effort. Ngale season. Yingakho kuthiwa teach me to speak without uttering a word. Why? Because sikuleyo season, season edemanda ukuthi our spirituality has to ascend. Physicality is confined. The sun is in hibernation. So imizimba yethu is confined. Therefore, the power is of God. Anomkhululwane. Unomkhululwane uyeke umuntu wama-magic. We experience ama-magic because of unomkhululwane. So, season from March kuze kuyoshaya uJune is governed by unomkhululwane. So Anpu follows enyaweni zikanomkhululwane. Because ngaphandle kwanomkhululwane akuna magic. Yingakho we give reverence all the time to the female energy. Namhlanje siyabonga kunabantu abasha kunabantu ekade sabagcina. Anpu bavusile. Bavusa. Futhi kulamakhaza nemhlanje benisha nje. Sisenkingeni. I was even doubting ukuthi soba ngaphandle. Kepha ke we are not in control of the weather. Yingakho we accept all seasons. Ngoba our bodies have to go through all the conditions. You know, isummer, winter, zonke lezo zinto. Your body need to experience so that it gets fortified. Do you understand? So ungafani nalabo makuyi winter babalekele endaweni yesaba. Hey, in that way you are depriving yourself to experience all conditions so that umzimba wakho gets familiar with all the conditions you can survive. Bengimangala la uzesilo kule season uhamba ngama shorts. Hawu lengane lengenweni. Bese kuba nento ithi hey angiyazi into eqhuba lengane ukuthi yenzekani. So ngathi no ngaze ngakhathala nami kulungu umkhuza. Ngithi nothi umyeke. Meke gula ke ngizombonisa ukuthi uyabona. Hey ifana nengane engawazi umlilo. Emelishe qala. I know that sounds cruel, but ingane emelishe ubamba umlilo then izohlonipha. Fana nogesi kanjalo. So siyabonga namhlanje sibonga wonke umuntu you know ikakhulu abantu abasenzela umsebenzi ukuthi lathi nasingafinyeleli khona. Bakhona abantu who keep the fires burning. You know, EGK is alive today because of a team of people. So siyababonga labo bantu. You know, bakhona labanye baseThekwini abanye ba overseas. You know, technology has made it possible ukuthi sibambisane and we do the work collectively. You know, the geographical position where you are, it no longer matters. You know, we are having people abase Australia, abase Germany, abase London, who are active in terms of developing and building not only GK but umtomnyam. Why? Because EGK doesn't have or require a membership. We are not about a membership. Why? Because it target yethu umtomnyama wonke. So we can't then appear ukuthi oh no nina ni sector ethize niqhoka ngale ndlela siyeza lapho sikafika okwamanje sisafaka isikolo. Remember ukuthi lento esiyiphethe indlela okumele siyiphile on a daily basis. Once we have achieved the unity that we need as black people, it will be very much easy. Ukuthi sekunetempele eSoweto, itempele with our own architect. Ungabuild itempele that we are stealing Italian design. Do you understand? And now be proud to take indawo yami it's Italian architect, because this is what we rejoice over these days. You know, so it's important ukuthi sinikeze gratitude. Sibonga indlovukazi. Indlovukazi always unale energy ukuthi noma sigodola uyasistimulate so that sivuke. That's a role indlovukazi that should give warmth, you know, life's goldway. Makubheda yena kubheda yonke. Ingakho indlovukazi melihlale ngaso sonke isikhathi ime you know yaqonda ngoba yiyo ezo encourage ezinye indlovukazi ukuthi naku la sima ngale ndlela. Siyabonga kakhulu zonke indlovukazi zethu la indlovukazi uMkhathi nazo zonke indlovukazi eziba la nazo ezinye lapha ekitchen. I mean dedication engaka every Sunday kuyashisa they sacrifice a lot ukuthi bazosiphekela ukuthi mesiphuma la ungaphumi ulambile kumele uphume usuthi emoyeni even physically kuthiwa abantwana bomuntu basherelana ikhanda lani ikhanda lentete ukuthi the little that we have to share. Melanin dictates that we do that. Because we are like that, by nature. It's just that the consciousness here has been twisted. But Umtomnyama is like that. Sharing is the most important, thing. There are so many things that we experience over this season. So many successes and even the downfalls. Tina Ngapa, it's worse. Eskom just shut us down. For almost 3 weeks now, it's not Gisla. But manje, the very same thing mele yenzakale ngokudla. Kube blank. Sifunda ukuzenzela. It's not a negative thing. Ukuthi kwenzakala lokho. Umoya uthi hluzekani la emakhaya. Don't depend kulabantu abaniqhaphazayo. Kumele invention must come from us. And you can never be creative. Kukuthi comfortable. Never. Kumele uhlupheke. Ukuze umqondo na the creative juices zehle. Ukuthi how do I get by without lento engihlukumezayo. So siyakubonga nakho konke lokho. Sibonge even amakhehla aseThekwini who are preparing the soka, the African Christmas. Sizoyichaza nayo ukuthi why sibiza African Christmas. Ngoba even the word Christmas has been distorted. As if you say name yale fake Jesus. It has been presented like that. And it simply means spirit birth. It's Christ, Christ then Mass.
Yeah.
Christ means spirit. It has nothing to do with the faith. Then Mass, birth. They are talking about the birth or the rebirth of the sun. Ilanga, when it's in the southern hemisphere, Bonabakhulu Enjoy Christmas. And the Tina City is the festival or ceremony of Soka. Who is Soka? Soka umvelingangi in hibernation. So when it comes to the 21st of June, uzalwa kabusha. We are revived. We are released. It reminds me of umsebenzi esibhekene nawo. Singabantu abamnyama ukuthi the day we claim our independence and our liberation, I hope we will align it with the 21st of June. The day umuntu omnyama decide ukuthi it's enough. Our land is coming back. And we put a date ukuthi by this date next year, this is what should happen. And it should. Because it's a liberation day, the 21st of June. Usoka uvalelwe uset. Siyabazi abantu abadonsa kuset. Abahamba lapho in that frequency. Uset deviously creates a coffin for uaset ukuthi ulenduza wasa ayilinganise. It's a metaphor. Uguti, when the sun is in hibernation, it means Uguti, the sun is confined. And we are not talking about the northern hemisphere. The sun is confined only for the southern hemisphere. In the north, we are peace. Do you understand? So the 21st of June becomes the liberation day. Lawu oset nonepted khona benqoba uset by reviving the body of Asa. Kuthiwa uAsa ufuthelwa umoya ngamaphiko kabani kaOset. Do you understand? And you need to understand ukuthi uOset umeleni meke nikezwa umoya unikezwa oxygen. Because this is what Oset produces. So now Oset no Neptet bavuthelela lo moya, who is going to revive ilanga. Yingakho kuthiwa ilanga wouldn't do what it does if there wasn't a combination of hydrogen and oxygen. Remember the chemical structure of our universe, which is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The carbon ukhulukhulwana is the grandfather of all elements and principles in the universe. Now, when it comes to this season, imelanin yethu gets revived. Imelanin yethu isinikeza amandla for us to create through our minds. Mawufuna ukwakha imansion ke, just imagine it. The spirit of Anpu is there to assist you so that lento yakhayo la imanifest. And kuthiwa you must be one with whatever that you want to create. Meaning Guti, enjoy the moment in your mind. Living in that mansion, even if it's not there physically, but it's been constructed spiritually. Go to each and every room of that house. Enjoy it. Uzobona magic yenzakala. One day siyavuka sithi ukhehla ubambi lolu. How? Ngoba umoya now is assisting you to achieve what you are constructing in your mind. Yingakho uAnpu athi ngifundise ukukhuluma without uphimisela. And the lento lesiyayenza all the time. Mawukhuluma ungavulanga umlomo, you can hear yourself. Uvala umlomo ukhulume. It means ukuthi the spirit or lo moya ongaphakathi kwakho doesn't need any physicality for it to express. It means lo moya uyaphila independent of physicality. If ngizizwa ngikhuluma ngakhiphanga amazwi, it confirms that. So this is the science okumele si embrace as African people. And the young and the knowledge is for us. Because other people are not able to experience what we naturally experience. Because of ukuzalwa kwethu. Singamazibulu. Indlovukazi izala abantu njengoba beyisho indlovukazi. Ngaphandle kwethu ukuthi sime siqine kulento esiyiyo. Umhlaba wonke uyabhubha. Umhlaba ulinde umuntu omnyama to lead the world again out of the mess that the world is in. Why? Because we are in a child-headed home. Kwenzakalani manibuswa ingane? Ingane nje ibuse ikhaya. Chaos. Hey, there's chaos, disorder. Why? Because ingane always takes things, breaks them apart. Do you understand? Umuntu omdala mesithi you are matured. Sikhuluma ngokuthi wena you reassemble things, you remember things that are broken. La emqondweni, by your actions are not destructive, but they build something. Yingakho sithi lo muntu lo umatured, ukhulile, uhluzekile la ekhaya, because of the way acabanga ngakhona, the way enza ngakhona. Manje ke in nature, whether we like it or not, is going to force us. Iqalile kumanje nature is forcing us to accept lento yomoya. Ngenkani futhi. Hey. So in nature is no longer patient with us. Yingakho kuthiwa uma singayiphethanga that order and harmony, we are heading for its destruction. Umvelinqangu uzosiqeda sonke. Isayilo uzosiqeda ngomlilo osiqede ngamanzi. These two things until size sihluzeka la emakhaya. Lento yenzakala lapha eThekwini eDurban. I-communication yamakhehla. Utanizwa nini? How can an event repeat and repeat? I believe on Friday there was a warning again. Ukuthi a similar thing might happen. Lapha eThekwini. Konakaleni. And remember ukuthi concentration yamakhosi nobukhosi kulapha eNatal. There are over 11 million people. So it means ukuthi lo moya wobukhosi is stationed in Natal. Injalo. So manje ke mesilungisa and lesizolungisa, because thina we are not going to disappoint lo moya. Makufika isikhathi sokuthi simobilizeni, sihambeni siyoshweleza emakhosini, into kumele siyenze. And this is part of what we'll be doing lapha eThekwini. Ngoba ukunyathela kwethu kuleya ndawo, hey sisenkingeni. Indawo yamandiya. Manje uyabona sibe nenkinga evenuini yokuqala because ila ezindlini. Manje sitshelwe ukuthi ngo-10 igubhu mele sehle. Ngoba bazosibizela amaphoyisa ukuthi azovala i-event yethu. Hey, ama-bylaws. And the Amandia, remember ukuthi bona abantu be-Islam ne-Hinduism, so they view our cultural practices as evilness. Yingakho nje even if besingabaraseli, just our presence there will unsettle them. let them start being unsettled because it's yes. We are coming to claim and demand our spiritual places. If kunezindlu la kumele siphahlele khona, kumele zidilizwe. Why? Because these people, they occupied these places knowing very well how spiritual they are for an African person. But because they are dealing with slaves, people who are not worthy of anything. Look at what happens when you look at the farms along the Golden Meridian. All of them are occupied by either whites or Indians. All of them. So it means our spirituality is going to be jailed forever until we take a stand as African people. La kumele siphahlele khona. I'm saying it again. Lezo zindlu kumele ziwe. Kumele ziwe. Awunathanda. Umuntu futhi ozoba compensate yilo muntu obafakela. Injani? Whoever gave them permission to build on our sacred places will be responsible for compensating them. All we want is for the return of our dignity and pride. And we will do anything necessary to achieve that. Anything necessary to achieve that. Because abantu, they know, njengoba ngisho, Anpu, the melanin within us, gives us the advantage to communicate with Zulu, to communicate with the serious star formation, to communicate now all the cosmic bodies. Tina, we become an open vessel. Yingako, in the past, we were able to achieve all the milestones. Ageko, civilization and the science yomuntu omnyama ayina ntanga emhlabeni. Imele yodwa. There's no match. You can't match us. You can't match us because everything you are trying to discover, we already know. Yingako, they don't want us to reconnect because our reconnection is not to govern a small geographical area. We are first citizens of the world. We are going for the whole thing. We need to control again umhlaba wonke from the south. Okokobetu did before. It has been proven. People can go and research. Ipower ilaman. Yokubusa umhlaba, not only mess up South Africa. Umhlaba wonke kehla. Angazi noma nama limitation. Your ambitions are limited to South Africa. Ha. Umoya wethu uthi umhlaba wonke belongs to us. Futhi asiclaim nje because siyaclaim. Akulona ihaba. Science. Ranuko Rashid. That's the guy you need to study. Who gives you the scientific evidence to challenge the Western stereotype ukuthi you are from a dark continent. Civilization yethu spread it all over the world before any other race appears. So who can match us? No one. Who can teach us? No one can teach an African unless you get an ignorant African who will run after poison. Esithola kulabantu abalokho bathi basinikeza ulwazi. Akunalwazi lapha, we are being poisoned. Futhi laba nama degree I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's only idlanzana labantu who are African and black who are using the knowledge they get from these Westerners to unlock the truth about us. You can do that and still make millions. Don't go there and be absorbed by the system. Ugcina sewukhuluma ngamakhala la siyakuza. Ushaya ezinye izinto manje. Ukhuluma isilungu esingaka. Ukuzosithema nje la elokushini. Into esimple thing ngabe uyayichaza nje ukuthi hayi lento ilele nayo. Ukuze sihloniphe. And then nathi foolishly siyahlonipha. Uze umuntu nama degrees ayi-6 kepha into ephuma la. Udoti. Uzibuze ukuthi lo muntu lo ufundeni lo muntu. Ha? Ufundeni lo muntu. Mina ngiyanithi I am proud to be Kaba. Ubuqaba bami bungenze ngaba pure and very objective. Ubuka izinto ngendlela yakho and don't aspire to be like white people. You even command the queen's language more than the queen herself. Bakhona bothi akabanjani. Nangapha kithi bebekhona bothi yosoka. All these African intellectuals. Bonke laba bobani laba be movement. Bonke lama intellectuals lanka ofunda ngawo. Ukuthi they are in the struggle for black people. Kepha bagqoka amathai namasutu. Yonke into that represent the Western man. Manje ubuze ukuthi nilwa yiphi ngoba in appearance you are defeated already. There is a picture about Pixlika, Seme, and all these people that started this movement. You look at that picture, you conclude we were doomed right from the first day. We could never achieve anything with such people. You can't be fighting an African war. What are you projecting? Mouse fagela la futhi ama gentlemen uyababona. Balinde nje ukunayithwa by the king. Hey. Into abangayijabulela futhi le. If they were knighted by the queen. Ngabe bafika la elokushini, hayi mina ngingcono, why because bengihlala neduze no queen. Kanti yingozi leyo. Uzeke ukubona ke ukuphoxeka kwalabantu laba. Basuka la bekhumusha. Beyobona iqueen. Not to say to the queen, we give you 30 days. If you don't remove your people there, we are finishing them. They didn't go there with that agenda. Baye agenda yokuthi bayoncenga iqueen to lessen apartheid. What nonsense is that? Uyoncenga your colonizer. Hayibo, unyawo lakho is too much. yehlisa nje unyawo ngigrand mina. Just lessen the pain I'm feeling. We are not uprooting the problem. You want to lessen. Manje ke inkinga yethu ibe lapho makhehla. Ngoba labantu laba most of them besibahlonipha. Sonke besibahlonipha. Ukuthi hey labantu laba naku sebethola ama Nobel Peace Prize. How? In the 60s wena. Ukhethwa abelungu. Bakunikeza i-Nobel Peace Prize. While some soldier on the ground are dying. Yini lo yenzayo? Githi.
Sebenza omuhle for bona.
Hey,
Keeping them in their space.
injalo ke. Injalo.
Benefit about.
Because some of them were even given special passes. I know as an example in Kosul had a special pass, which was above Wongudaki. Bamnikeza just to mess up his mind. He thinks ukuthi no, mina I'm special. Special kanja. Ngoba labantu, they're fooling you. They make you think like that. And the worst gemengizo kuthiwa inkosi lithuli. Inkosi yalapha yakwalithuli khona. Do you understand? Inkosi that rejected the encroachment of Westerners in his land. And when he sees some of his people are already deep in this thing, he then calls them. Oh babu lithuli. Ahlale phansi naye athi buka ndoda. Usungene shiqe kulento. Ngcono ube inkosi yabo labantu bakho. That is how he was crowned. Inkosi uLthuli, a chief. Why? Because inkosi yalapha rejected Christianity. Yathi mina ngingeni lento eniyenzayo. Wacrownwa ke namhlanje simazi njengenkosi. Akukho njalo ke. Injalo mafethu. Injalo manje. Manje isifundo kithi. Ungajabuleli ukupraise wabelungu. Ungajabuleli ukupraise wabelungu. Because abelungu if ngabe bakuthanda ngempela and genuinely, they wouldn't mess up with your land. Bayakusondeza and pacify you. Bagu lift it up as if you are the person. Nathi sikulandele foolishly nkosi yami. Do you understand? Manje ke yingakho ngithi makhehla lokhu esiku siyokunqotshelwa umoya. Siyoinqoba lempi by understanding science of the universe qala. Ukuthi labantu kuze sibanqobe mele sibashaya on the etheric body. Because once you affect their etheric bodies, their physical bodies are useless. We are to figure nje ukhohlela umuntu awe phansi. Down on the floor. Umoya ke lo. So it's very important makhehla nokuthi sibonge. Because umoya is just as alive as you are. Njengoba sihleli kanje, there are spiritual bodies all over here that we are not seeing. Do you understand? Don't be confused by lokho kubonayo and think ukuthi that's the only thing. Umoya uyaphila. Kungani njengoba sihlangene kanje omunye avuke nombono of the very same picture, but kunabanye abantu angabazi. It means umoya was there with you in everything that you do. So mesikhuluma ke ngeithunzi. Ithunzi ziyaphila. Kepha they are looking for bodies for them to use to express their will. Yingakho ke thina siyayinikezela ngemizimba yethu. Sikhona khuluma through us. Yingakho uzothola ukuthi abantu abafana nabo bakhredo vusa amazulu vusa amazulu credo mood credo mood chokozile abantu abafana nabo bakhredo, you know, izo kuningi Friday besiye ku memorial ka credo. Ubab Credo is being remembered by the city of Joburg. Besila. But manje, ibhlungu indaba kaBab Credo. I don't even want to go there. Ngoba when you think of the value of that man, on his own, ngabu produce almost 100 universities. Nge content yakhe. But South Africa never valued Ubab Credo. Never valued, and to our detriment. Because ulamuntu le ubesusa ubulwembu la emehlweni ukuze sikhona ukubona kahle. But manje even honorisha wena Kev. Yazi honorisha Ubab Credo. Kumele iSoweto yonke ngabe igcwele la eCrodomutwa village. But manje izinto ezenzwa in piecemeal, you know, Ubab Credo is not given, and I know ukuthi there are no other people that are going to give Ubab Credo a deserving, you know, celebration and honor except us. Abeko. Why? Because Tina, we know the value of Ubab Credo. We wouldn't be standing like this. We wouldn't be creating zonke lezinto lezi if it wasn't for Ubab Credo. Ubab Credo uyi foundation yayo yonke into esiyenzayo. Everything that we know, we got its foundation from Ubab Credo. So it's important for us to give, you know, that gratitude to Baba. Uguti usincedile because akancedanga thina but uncede future generations. Because nina youth, yini we are going to now take this to your children. It means ukuthi umuntu omnyama has a better chance of being normal again. Yina singabantu abadala singumhlahlandlela. Kepha ingane yizo the real beneficiaries zalento le. Nina nizobe ningayikhulumi nje lento ukuthi hayi nizobe niphila if you are wise enough. Kuthiwa each and every generation inesiqephu sayo. Isiqephu senu, you mustn't be confused, is to return to our spiritual foundation and make that a launching pad for yourself. So that yonke into eniyenzayo yi-success. Kumele nibuyele again. Sithi noma sesingekho la. Sibuke emuva. Sibone ukuthi laba basele didn't betray. Ubab Credo namadlozi in general, when they see gatherings like this, they become happy. Because but it's not all lost. There are still a few that are able to listen and articulate benze. I would see local, we intellectualize ngalezinto lezi. I know it's just a domain of intellectuals, SNT, when they are bored umsebenzi wabo. Baba Shama wine bakhuluma. You understand? Hey, so ilenduza makehla fusion of abantu who happen to have ama skills. Yingakho sithi siyabadinga labantu laba. Siyabadinga labantu abafundile. Ukuthi kube yibo abasivulela indlela njengabo Shikhanta Diop. uShikhanta Diop noTheophile Obenga basincedile. Akekho umlungu can challenge us in what we are doing. Because of the ammunition we got from Shikhanta Diop, Ubab Credo noTheophile Obenga, about Ivan van Sertima. Nobody can come close to us. Because sikhuluma iqiniso bona that have researched scientifically. So nigeti now ammunition ukuthi mesifundisa ingane zethu. We are not teaching them about itamsaka. Into thina esicabangayo. Abantu who have carefully studied. To a point ukuthi Ivan van Sertima says lapha the great pyramid. No, ilenduza lapha bayibiza. Asizifings man. Heru Aket. Hey, Heru Aket. Ikhala lakhona litholakele eBritain. Ivan van Sertima uthi silitholile lekhala. We took it back to Egypt. Arab refused to replace it. Manje uyabona ukuthi impi yethu ingakanani. But I always say, you can hide my identity, kule ndawo, and all these sculptures, but you can never hide the truth. You can never hide the truth. Who built them? And the Bugan market, when they were doing the test here, when they are trying to find the age of skeleton, what means that?
Carbon dating.
Carbon dating. Carbon dating. Uzone kamalako. Carbon dating, it means that they are looking for content here carbon in that corpse. And Abo Shikhanta Diop, they found ukuthi wonke lemizimba abahambe bayoyikhomba abantu abamnyama. So that kills the suggestion ukuthi they were aliens who built Egypt. And why did America? Remember ukuthi America were the first people to put a university in Egypt. But all of the study that is called Egyptology. Egyptology, it has nothing to do with preserving our knowledge system. Egyptology was started to control the flow of information. Uguti, how much do we release the information to Africans themselves? That is why it has nothing to do with science. That they want to use to dominate us. Egyptology. Ubabona bonke le impandla lezi siloko zihumba amathunethu la. Bafunani sikhona, what proof do you want? Why uzohumba amathunethu la? We are here to testify or as a proof of the people who were there before. Remember ukuthi science, the study of genetics, I-report yakhona recently, it was presented at UNISA when we were launching the African calendar. Kuthiwa abantu who are here in South Africa, they have more DNA efana nabantu who built the pyramid. Manje bese uthola are rejecting themselves. But he was ifunda ngama pyramid of fire. Why are we studying about entire Egypt?
I was not there.
I was not there. And we will never be there.
I don't care.
That's an ignorant mind, talking. Ngoba uzwani market sine evidence. Yes, science yabo again. I say it. Study of genetics. Hey. Yeah, but into abasungula zonke lezo zinto. Why? To disprove the fact ukuthi umuntu omnyama uye owenze zonke lezi zinto lezi. Why was the need to Kenya? In Kenya nifana nami. Bazala evenda, they study the Lembes. The Lembe people, do you know the Lembe people? The Lembe people now, they are so messed up like Makanda because by Jela Gutibona, they are the original black Jews. And the Bahambage, Nadem Kolelo and Jews. To a point to which they claim to be special amongst all South Africans. But Ibona, they are special. We are born Abuchi, that's a messed up mentality. What's on the way? Because before there was the word Jew, there was Kemet. So why are you running away from the origin or the original packaging? Ufuna ukuyokabela lento efake yamajutenga. Hey,
It's a code Mkhulu.
nabo bebamba le Star of David. The Star of David they say. Hey, we are talking about the Imhotep sequence when we were constructing that Star of David. Imhotep sequence, explainer, the geometrical, shape that started in life, lobutatu, sacred geometry. So there's one pyramid coming down, meaning that there's one energy, flowing down, another energy is going up. David ungenaphi la. Ungenaphi la sebayiclaima Star of David. Yini le? Yini le? Iklenywe futhi leyo nto yilo bambiza bani? Pythagoras. Hey, uzoklema the geometrical, formation there. And bio confuser. Bakutshele ngathi into that is unreachable. You have to go to university for you to understand the right angle triangle which shooting. And it's such a simple thing, ubaba, umama, indodana. You will never forget that. Hey, umthathu lobo, that is the original Trinity. Yomntu omnyama, ubaba, umama, indodana. Upythagoras uthi theory yakhe ke le. So, Maketa, all I'm saying, personally, I give gratitude to Lomoya because it's iloko sifundiswa iLomoya, and the Lomoya yiwo lo ozospusha vele forward for us to achieve total independence in our own country. Hayi lobu fake esikubo. Sithi si free kanjani? We can't even go to our sacred places. Eblaf la kumele siye khona. abelungu balile completely. Hey, basitshela ukuthi indawo yerabhi la ngizomosha utshani bathi ngizomosha lo tshani berabhi. That's why we can never give you venue. Beseke lobuhlungu esibuzwa on a daily basis. Singabantu abamnyama. Bathi ke manje kumele sibanikeze sinye isihlalo. Basho njalo. Give us another chip. We are not happy and satisfied with only this one. We want both.
Must tell their Christian brothers.
Angeke baze bayithole makhele. All I'm saying ukuthi the anger that we feel asiyichaneleni in the right way and submit kulo moya. Lo moya will never fail us. Everything that belongs to us will come back to us. That is a definite truth. Ukuthi basatanasa manje benzani? Hayo kwabo lo. Yingakho thina we've got to forget about their tricks and gimmicks and concentrate on truly building lo moya. Hey, ngoba lo moya lo uzosenza si achieve izinto that we've never even dreamt of. And the lo moya uzosemba si move from A to Z. You want go. Havuka nephupho njalo. Kwathiwa umoya is capable of taking you from 0 to 10. Just like that. Ifana nani in the manifestation. Once you can find and master the vibration, ekwenze ukuthi ukhona ukumanifesta izinto. In the past, once you can think back and say, hey, I once, ngaba in a situation whereby I was thinking about this, and there it happened. So it means ukuthi go back and trace ifrequency bokuyo. If mhlambe you were thinking about your lover at that moment, and the magic happened, it means always think about that love. Skia khetha sazi. Noma ngabe ukwenza. Mawucabanga nje ukufaka in that frequency. And that frequency yenza ukuthi manifest easy. Izinto kumele sibheke lezo makhaya. Hey, ukuthi yini, and enye into you've got to be able to understand yourself. Ukuthi wena, we said ukuthi melanin naturally receives and sends. Wena as a receiver, bayibizani lento, you receive. Hey, when you receive signal, wena, do you receive easily or do you send easily? How do you send? Just tell. Ucabanga umuntu, lo muntu loya appear. Ucabanga umuntu, lo muntu loyo akufonela. We are sending. It means ukuthi wena ability yakho, you can call a meeting without really sending WhatsApp. Just by thinking about the people that you want in the meeting. Then be there. Nabo bangazi ukuthi bafuna. Bahlangana bonke esigodlweni, omunye abuze ukuthi ufunani. Omunye athi hayi noma ngazi ngifunani, kube nento nje ukuthi ngiyesigodlweni, ngikhuphuke ngiye emakhosini. Inkosi isuka ibiza meeting without really uttering a word. This is how our ancestors, that is the technology okhokho bethu had. Abanye bame lapha, along the banks of the Nile. Umuntu ale Kemet and transfer information to umuntu like Cape Town. bazwane baphendulane futhi. I-flow, i-current yamanzi. Okhokho bethu understood i-current yamanzi ukuthi what frequencies are there naturally. Mengenza kanje ngipishe ilentuza itone so, it will certainly match with the frequency of that current. Ingimukusela imessage. Omunye ulindile ngalo. We are receiver, we are pendulum. That is our natural ability. And that is Anpu. That is making us, have that ability. Ngobu Anpu Mqaphikazi. Imelanin yiyo gadile. Imelanin is the intelligence of your system. Mawuhlatshwa yinaliti. Imelanin that sends the signal to your brain. For your brain to interpret le pain ozwayo. That's melanin. So, to be wise about imelanin, ukuthi siyisebenzise ngendlela right. Yingakho sipusha this collective umphako. Why? Because asazi ukuthi ubani amongst us ozwakala kalula. We don't know. Ngoba sonke sine potential la. Ayibhekanga mhlambe ukhehla uthabo lapha. Angithi uje uthi nangu uje uthi ngani. Umlomokazi. Ngale. Uje uthi angithi. Manje akusho ukuthi yibo kuphela banesabelo. Do you understand? Sonke mesenza into eyodwa ngesikhathi esodwa. There are better chances ukuthi izulu lisizwe. So yingakho si insist all the time. It doesn't matter ukuthi busy kanjani. Make sure ukuthi you join in. Because ngokuvilapha nje kwakho, we are depriving abantu abamnyama to move from this level to another level. And then ngabe bowukhona, that thing would happen instantly like that. Ngoba si powerful singabantu abamnyama naturally. So leyo power leyo, we need to enhance that power. Leyo power siyisebenzise for our development. Le knowledge esinayo, asi knowledge ukuthi uhamba ugabisela abantu. I mean, I've read the Book of the Dead. I've read the Hermetica. I've read this and that and that and that. It's not about that. Knowledge without application is useless. Because uhamba lokhu ya preach and light rating. There's no product or service you are producing. So what's the point of you possessing that knowledge? Knowledge is there for application. Hayi into yokuposta ngayo. Yingakho umlaba kekho lama engineers ethu. Kuphele 3 weeks singana solution. Yogesi la. 3 weeks iphele. Asitholi solution there. Neyodwa nje ukuthi okay fine istove fridge ama lights kunamanzi, there's hydraulic technology, there's the magnets, ama magnets naturally emits electricity. So those are simple things. Manje asivugeni sakheni ikusasa lethu. I-challenge esihlangana nayo yiyo le that should induce that creative spark within us. Ukuthi how do we get away from this and permanently? Yingakho even when we talk about a governing system okumele sivuse, it's a governing system of the future. Lento ukuthi thina as Africans sithatha 10 steps forward, sithathe 8 backwards. Why? Because we are not really realistic in terms of our destination. Siyapi And if you can't see a destination right in the beginning, you won't be able to get there. So thina sikhathele yilama piecemeal. Oh no. Kuyakhulunywa kwenegotiator, hey izinto ziyalunga. Kanti we still have to fight again. So kungcono kuliwe once. Sazi ukuthi leyo mpilo iphela. Iphelile forever. Uthini uBob man? You fight, you run away. Huh? You are making yourself vulnerable to fight again. So many ule till the end. So that my pela leombi. You know Guti, all is sorted. Don't fight and run away. You call yourself a revolutionary and you went halfway. You never the revolution. From one point to the same point again. Ungathathi wena ubeke lapha ethe quarter point. Then uphakamisa izandla ame revolutionary. Revolutionary kanjani sikule nhlupheko esibuyo. How do you celebrate freedom? Pseudo freedom. Akuna freedom la. Ingcindezelo why? So we give gratitude Makhe. Siyabonga wonke umuntu and abanye abantu esibabonga kakhulu. Yilabantu who are quiet, assisting GK quietly. Umuntu angafuni nokugama. Umuntu obona the need of assisting a movement to move forward. Quietly, deposit. Quietly, ayenze lokhu. Quietly, ayenze lokhu. Those are our heroes because asabantu abafuna makamera. Mengenza mele ngibonge. You understand? La DK asikho lapho. Awenzi because you are expecting us ukuthi sikubonge. Mele wenze boy because upushwa ilo moya wako. Because you are here for moya wako. And all of us, if we didn't do this, if I didn't do this, it's either ngabe ngisejele or ngabe ngifile. I had two options. Ijele nokufa. I chose well. I would foot ngiyakusaba ukufa. Ngikusaba ukufa mina. There's no death. It's only ignorance that will tell you ukuthi there's death. Hey. Kune incident la engizotshela yona kepha ngelinye ilanga. Eyenzeka a day before siye Bakeville. Terrible thing happened here before siye Bakeville. Kepha ngathi hayi, you never stop me. Bakeville kulani yakhona. Something terrible who says the Silo knows it. Why experience leyo nto leyo? Shokuthi umoya is trying to say ukuthi bangeza nezibhamu zabo namabhoma abo. Kepha ngeke bakuthinte. Bazokuthinta the date nasesikubiza. Uthi wozothatha umkhomelo wakho. You've done your work. You can't uphile ulokhu usaba ukufa. Ukufa is renewal man. You are renewing yourself. Hey, even nalomuntu obulalayo doesn't have the last word because he was just or she was just used as a transport yakho for ascension of God. So umuntu angayishaya ifumo ushaya ngibulele njalo. Hey, Makhehla ngiyabonga sengikhulule kakhulu. Kepha yazi namhlanje ngitshelile vele ukuthi ilanga lokubonga. Wonke umuntu Makhehla ofaka isandla ukukhuleni the movement. I-movement iyakhula on a daily basis. And the more you focus here to kahle youth, Asinandaba nalamakhehla amadala lapho umseni. Bakhona. Bathi ke ngalesilungu sakho. You can't teach old dog new tricks. Labantu laba sebebhekene nethuna. Umuntu utshela nje ukuthi hey, I'm too old to learn new things. So, ifocus yethu ayikho lapho. Ifocus yethu nawe youth. Yini okumele nifane nabo Theatre. I told you Theatre was only 19 years old when he changed the history of South Africa completely. That was Theatre machining. Small inyana guy. But he did wonders. Why? Because he had a drive. He had an intent. There was a burning fire within him. Ukuthi, no, I'm not going to accept. Not in my own country. Nani, if you are comfortable in this slavery that your parents are in, nizosola nina. Ngoba in 76, we defied our parents. Our parents were saying, umlungu mdala, nizomenzani nini? We defied that voice. Sakhohlwa my parents said. We went on with the struggle. Now kulaskona namhlanje. Besithi ukuthi at the end it will be uhuru. And we still have to fight again. Why? Because we were sold an illusion in 94. Kuthiwa no si free. Free kanjani ukuthi structure that oppressed you is still there. Bokumele nje kahle kahle khona ukhehla beke la ekseni. Uthi i-union building bokumele kube yindawo yabo labo bashayi khafifi nabo amahobo. This guy says we're not supposed to rule from there where our death were being plotted from. Bokumele le ndawo siyeke sifake lama homeless people there, man. It becomes their home because yindlu of evilness. Evilness. Bebehlala lapho bo declare nabo botha. But too many la to come and kill people. Baba supporter ngebhamu. Baba protector when the community was fighting them. Udeclare uhambe angayanga court. Nobody took de Klerk to court, but they had the audacity to take Umamweni to this fake Truth and Reconciliation commission. A soldier that fought ayedwa amadoda ebalega asabukufa. Umama avuke ngamapijama ngo-11 to go and rescue ama comrades. She was the first one